Give me 1 second. Is it recording? All right, there we go. So, yeah, there we go. Alrighty, so welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to the call tonight. I know it's kind of late, but thank you for taking your time to really coming out. And tonight, I'm just gonna go over Bitcoin and how I'm seeing it move and for the future of it with my analysis. So we're gonna go straight towards the chart. Give it a second here. Oh, but how is everybody doing tonight? Drop a comment. Drop how you feeling tonight. How's everybody? I'm feeling blessed, happy. Oh man, blessed. That's what I like to hear. All right, let's let this load up real quick. Happy and grateful, always blessed. Chairman 10 vibes, you already know it. Tatted Chairman 10 all over my body. Hey. That's what I like to hear. Alrighty. We're gonna let this load real quick. Alright. So, okay. It should be going now. Oh, alright. But in the meantime, so if you guys don't know right now, Bitcoin is starting to go back up. It reached around at the peak at the current moment. It reached around 8,200, which we haven't seen in a while because all of late last year in 2019, we saw a lot of bearish momentum going down. So at the current point of Bitcoin, we're starting to see it start going back up. And if you remember my last Zoom call, I predicted it this way. Let's let it load. My computer's kind of a little slow right now, but we'll get to it. We'll get through it. Alrighty. This should be showing it. Let's let it load. Okay. It's a little slow, so give it some time. I'm sorry about that. But how do you guys feel about Bitcoin? Because I haven't asked everybody, but how do you guys feel about Bitcoin? Because some people are scared of it, and there really is no reason to be scared of it, because Bitcoin is just what's gonna get us rich. And if you're really invested into it, like if you really invest time and money into it, I mean, you can get a great fortune out of it. All right, so we got the chart back up. So, all right, so let's go back a little bit. Oh, if it goes back. All right, so, okay. So as we're seeing here, basically most like near the end of December, we're just seeing a large consolidation, really prices, and like it's fluctuating but it isn't going too much. And like I said in the last Zoom call that I had, I was able to predict price. It dropped down to around the 6,800s, right? So it dropped around this area, so I was predicting it like sort of like the way it is right now. So we're seeing some major spike ups right now at the moment. And we're really starting to see a upwards trend at the moment. As it broke my trend line, we're really starting to see some momentum of it starting to go back up. So with crypto, it really is interesting because price will spike up or spike down, and then I believe it's around 70%. It's just 70% of the time is just consolidating. So you just have some random spikes and random drops, and then you kind of just have to wait to see how it goes. So, and in the background, if you guys are wondering, it's called the Ichimoku. I use the Ichimoku strategy, and that's a whole different Zoom call I'll do. But it's really has helped me to with trading because it helps me to able to predict where price point will be going with Bitcoin. So, as we're seeing here, we're starting to see price starting to fluctuate back up, and so around the beginning of the year, on the second day of the year, price dropped down to 6,800s, but it used it as a support to start pushing way back up, and I made a new trend line for it to start going back up. So we're seeing some major action. It was consolidating here a little bit, spiking up, spiked up to around 8,500s around this area up here. And then it starts to go back down because there wasn't enough buying power at the moment. So we started seeing Bitcoin started to go back down, but it hit my trend line again and bounced off. So we're just kind of seeing consolidation at the moment. Um, what I kind of expect for it to be doing is to start. It might drop down a little bit more, as you see in this area right here. But for the most part, um, I can't exactly tell you when, but we're gonna still see some major action of it starting to go back up. So, is there any? Okay. So at the moment, we're just gonna have to wait. But for the most part, Bitcoin is gonna start going up because um, the whole. If we look at back of what was it, 2018's Bitcoin December, it was basically around the same thing here. It was starting to go back down, and it reached around 3,000, but eventually start to head towards the 10,000 range. So what I'm expecting it to do is maybe not exactly entirely soon, but we're gonna start seeing some major momentum of upwards movement towards definitely in the 9,000s and 10,000s. So once we reach around the 10,000s, we might see some drawback, but it's gonna still keep going up eventually, and we just have to be patient with it because Bitcoin is really interesting. The whole crypto market moves in the same way. Like if you look at Ethereum or XRP, Ripple, and like the whole total graph with the crypto market, it really just fluctuates at the same rate. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, so I was gonna go over. So we seen the charts. It was my markup. I'm gonna send a screenshot of the whole thing because my computer's a little slow right now. So once it's all done, um, I'll be able to show the whole image of how I'm gonna be predicting it again. And it's worked in my favor so far. So we're gonna just see how that goes. So we're gonna go to coinmarketcap.com. It helps out with really informing about Bitcoin. Let's see who said. Do you have a Telegram chat? I'm actually about to make one just for Bitcoin. And are you in the DTR millions chat? If you are, I'm gonna send a link there to be just like basically whoever's interested in Bitcoin. I'll just send like signals. Well, I'll send signals to both chats, but I'm gonna have like primarily Bitcoin for anybody who's interested in it. So we'll just go on from there, but I'll let you know more afterwards. So, oh, got another comment or chat. I mean, on detail. Yeah, I'm gonna send a chat link. So that if you want to join my Bitcoin chat, I'll let you guys know. Interesting. So, all right, let's go down and let's let this load. Or actually, can I do this? Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. Well, in the moment that you can see this, you kind of see how Bitcoin is playing out. It's reaching around the same. Oh, okay, or not. um, it's gonna put. Okay, so with coin market cap, we're gonna see like the price fluctuations between the days of the lows and the highs of certain days. So if we go back to, let's start from the 20th. Well, no, let's go back a little bit more. So the 13th, right? It was in the 7200 range. At its high, it was at 72.93. And we were starting to see price really within the next 4 days. Price was really starting to go back low. So there was a major drop, and then we get to the 18th, and price just really hit the bottom. So, and the lowest it was at 6,500, which a lot around that range. With Nick Gomez, what he said was around 6,500 to 5,500. That's when I buy Bitcoin, so that's when I bought some Bitcoin. And as we're starting to see from there, as we move on more into December, price starts to go back up. It falls down a little bit, but then it hits a support. Then it starts to go back up. Then we see a little bit of a drawdown, and then we move on to the new year. And with price fluctuating, we see another drop down again to the 6,900 range. And then as we're progressing through the year, or beginning of the year, we're seeing price starting to go back up. And how I'm really viewing this is by the time we go to London, I'm expecting price to be between, let's say, around 85 to 9500 ish, the range there, 8,500 and 9,500. I'm expecting price to get around there. Um, and what I'm really interested with Bitcoin is around when it reached that high of 10,000 in October. Um, when it reached around that high, we may see some drawdowns because it hit a resistance there. So yeah, I remember we were at a Chairman 10 Tariq's house, and literally price was 8,000 there, and then we started seeing price going all the way up. And I remember that's the first time I ever did Bitcoin. Made $750 in like 30 seconds. And I was like, oh man, Bitcoin's amazing. It's so volatile. So just remember this with any crypto, but with Bitcoin, it's volatility is profitability. So if you see some major action, whether it's going up or down, I mean, you can make some profitable money with proper risk management. So, oh, okay, alrighty. So we're currently around this area right here, right? And there's a couple of resistance you can see here. Um, Around here was between October. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah. Was it? It was around here, yeah. So around October, went up to around almost 10,000, and that's where I'm expecting price to be at between February by the time we go to London. Um, so we're just gonna see how price really plays with it, but for the majority, by the end of 2020, with Crypto Picasso and Nick Gomez, if you guys don't know them, go live. They have plenty of education series, and just the information they have there really helped me out with Bitcoin. But within this range, we're really gonna see some major price movement upwards. So we can just expect that in the future. So I mean, if you haven't bought Bitcoin yet, just start investing money. Even it might be a little too late. I mean, it's better now than never. I mean, you might buy it around like 8,000, but when it reaches 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, I mean, it's gonna be worth it. So for me, it's Bitcoin is a huge investment to really start somewhere, you know. So that's what I recommend. If you just start putting money into Bitcoin until you like, just put enough money into a Bitcoin until you buy one. When you have one full one, whew, you're gonna get rich off that. So that's my long term goal with Bitcoin. So at the moment, one Bitcoin is 8,151, but you can just start putting money like $50 every 2 weeks and just start adding that up, and it'll add up. And I'm gonna explain a little bit right now where you guys see how there's a bunch of zeros. So there would be a bunch of numbers depending on how much you buy, and these are called satoshis. Because the creator of Bitcoin, which surprisingly he was never like, we don't know how he looks. His first name is Satoshi, so we just call these satoshis. So you might have 0.0075381 satoshis, or Bitcoin, or however you want to call it. But yeah, and real quick, I want to show that J.P. Morgan. Oh, this is on the news BTC. I use this for information on cryptos, and you can see here the show price. I have to refresh the page, but you're gonna see the price of different cryptos, and you're gonna notice how when one crypto goes down, the rest of them go down. So how it usually is Bitcoin is like the major step forward to any type of crypto. So if Bitcoin starts to go down, expect other cryptos to go down. Except like with the other thing is with Ripple, it made a huge movement the other day, and it kind of like didn't really follow with Bitcoin. So there's, like I said, it's volatility, it's profitability. So with proper risk management and however you do your analysis, you know, you can really profit from that. So institutional demand for Bitcoin is critical in long term. So what this means is that there's only 24 million Bitcoin out, and already 18 million Bitcoin has been, people are like, in total 18 million have already been like either bought or people already have. So there's only there's only a good amount of difference. I'm not that good with math, but there's only a certain limited amount of Bitcoin that you can get. So really what I'm looking at is a supply and demand, really. that the less we have, the more the price is going to go up. So it's kind of crucial. If you really want to have Bitcoin for long term investment, you would get Bitcoin, because the less there is, the more expensive it's going to get. So if you save it for, say you have 2 Bitcoin and you save it for like 2 to 3 years, I mean, you're talking major thousands to hundreds of dollars right there. So really just take a look at Bitcoin. And I mean, I use this website a lot. Really helps me in assisting with like where price could be going with Bitcoin. I'm gonna move over really back real quick to Bitcoin on TradingView. And so, if you guys didn't know, with TradingView, you could also use oh, excuse me, an indication called Renko. And Renko is just price action. It's not really candles. It doesn't show like wicks. It might show a wick or two, but they might be like super small. So really, it gets a little bit interesting. But you see how like, oh, okay, thanks. Um, so you see how it just like little rectangles starting to go up and down. That's just price action. It's not really like candles with wicks. So if you're looking at more on long term goals, and it automatically goes to daily, you can definitely use this to kind of predict how it's gonna go. So right now on the daily it is at 80.88. So we're gonna just see how it continues to flow with the price action. Guys, drop a 111 if you want me to drop a Ichimoku Cloud strategy Zoom. Let me know if you guys want to do that, because honestly, it's been really good with me. Okay. So yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get better with it, and I'll just explain to you guys how Ichimoku Cloud really works. Um, but yeah, so this is just my overall analysis with Bitcoin. Um, like I said, it's gonna prices still gonna start to go back up. I have some. This is on the daily, so I have some bars here just showing about resistance, but it's different with candles. So really, that's just really how I'm viewing it right now. I don't know if Eric's in the call. Eric, are you in the call? So you can talk to him more about Bitcoin. Alrighty, I'm gonna make you a host so that you can share your screen, or whatever you want to do. So give me 1 second, alright?